Hi, everyone. One of the things that is on my mind recently is that while we're living through this crisis together, we are having very different experiences. Some people have very stable jobs, others do not. Some people are allowed to work remotely, others cannot. Some people have daycare, others are scrambling. Some people are highly connected, and others are feeling very isolated. Again, it's the same crisis for everyone, but we're having very different experiences. As a result of that, people are growing frustrated, in some cases lashing out. There's some elements of anger and jealousy, resentment. On the other hand, there's people on the other side of the spectrum who are very dismissive, maybe even judgmental of others. Those are all valid emotions to be sure, but there is an alternative. In the book of Galatians, the Apostle Paul talks about what it means to bear one another's burdens. It's about being in it together, about being community together. Let me give you a concrete example of what this looks like. About a year ago, a little boy connected to our church was born with serious health complications. The doctors told the parents from the beginning, he's probably going to live a few days, maybe a few weeks. Unfortunately, that is indeed what happened. And so the family, because I had baptized the little guy, came here for the funeral. And we gathered together, and if you've ever been to a funeral of a child, it is awful. It is the most overwhelming feeling of grief one can imagine. And as we planned, we went through the liturgy of the church, and we kind of mumbled our way through it. And when it was time for me to preach, I preached in fits and starts, my voice cracking, my eyes watering up with tears. And then we came to the end of the service. We did the final commendation, and it was time for us to do one last thing. In the hospital, after he was baptized, we sang "Jesus Loves Me." And in that moment, it was a beautiful, indeed a joyous moment. But now that we were in a sanctuary saying goodbye, we thought it would be a good idea to sing, but now when the time came, nobody could utter a word. The music started playing. There was just simply too much sadness. The grief was too strong for people to articulate anything. And me, I cannot sing on my best day, but in this moment, I couldn't even, there was simply no sounds coming from my voice. And I thought, as a pastor, what was I doing? How stupid was this to plan this? I should have anticipated this moment. And then the most beautiful thing happened. From the back of the sanctuary, over my shoulder, I heard a voice. A familiar voice that I hear on Sunday mornings. And then I heard another, and then another. What happened is these ladies who provide the funeral meal, we call them the funeral ladies. They had come into the sanctuary and they began to sing this song, "Jesus Loves Me." And because they were willing to sing and enter into the grief in this moment, this family and the friends that were gathered, they found the courage and the strength, and with the help of these ladies, they began to sing along. And it was one of the most transformative and healing moments I've ever witnessed in my entire life. It was overwhelming. When everything was over, we went into the fellowship hall. I went to one of the ladies and I asked, why did you do this? Did you know the family? That was my assumption. There must have been some sort of connection. And they said, "Oh no, Pastor Justin, we didn't know the family, but we knew the situation." And she said, "We knew they couldn't do this alone." Friends, that's what it means to bear one another's burdens. We could sit in judgment of others. We could look down on others. We could be dismissive of other people's challenges right now. But there's an alternative. It is to bear one another's burdens. It is to look at our neighbors in need and say, you know what, I might not be able to solve their problem, but whether it's physically or virtually or in some way, I am going to help bear their burdens with them. Again, there's all sorts of emotions right now, but what I can tell you is this: bearing one another's burdens. If we do this, if we are in this together, then healing and transformation are indeed possible. I've seen it myself. Thanks, and have a good day.